It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the Mayor of the City of Providence and a member of Mayors Against Illegal Guns, Mayor Jorge Elorza.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and thank you everyone for joining us. You know, in spite of all of the just flat out craziness that's going on in the country, especially around the lack of action around sensible gun legislation, it is really heartwarming to see a sea of red here in Burnside Park today. You give me hope. Now, I've been mayor now for about 4.5 years, and you know, throughout being mayor, sometimes people ask me, what's the hardest part of the job? That's an easy answer. As mayor, one thing that you're never fully prepared for is that you're called upon to comfort grieving mothers when they've lost a son or daughter. And it's the toughest part of this work. But through this work, I've often heard said that out of the darkness comes light. I've had the opportunity to meet incredible women, incredible people. And there are 3 that I'd like to highlight because they truly are amazing, amazing individuals. You just heard from Myra. Many of you also know Diana Garlington and Giovanna Garcia Rodriguez, sorry. In those moments where I've had to comfort a grieving mother, it's almost amazing the way that it happens. And I know I can't do justice to it, but of course there's amazing, amazing pain in their heart from losing a child. And then it's like something clicks and something happens. And then they move on from the grieving and they say, from here on forward, I'm going to do whatever I can so that no other mother has to suffer the same way that I'm suffering. And this tragedy then becomes that impetus that they take to become amazing advocates and community leaders to do exactly that, so that no mother would have to experience what they have experienced. And so I want to thank every single person who stepped up and taken on this issue. Because you know, if there's one thing that I have seen in politics over the past several years, is that the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And if you are one issue voters and you care more about that issue, then normally you're going to come out ahead. And the truth is that for a long time, the NRA has cared more about this issue than anyone else. They had made the most noise. They have gotten involved politically more than anybody else, and they have gotten their way. But what I see happening right now with this sea of red and throughout the country is that people are saying, all of us are saying, no, this is our one issue. We are going to fight for this issue. We're going to hold you accountable for this issue. This is our one issue. And I got to be honest with you. You know, in political debates, you assess one side, you assess the other, and you choose what you think is the right path. Maybe I'm just extraordinarily dense, but I do not understand the other side of this issue. There is no other side to this issue. People are dying. These deaths are preventable. It's causing hate and fear in all of us, especially our kids. Why can't we pass sensible gun legislation banning assault weapons that are weapons of war and don't belong on our streets, banning extended passing universal background checks. This is common sense. In this moment that we're living through right now, this is not a moment for tepid and half steps. So as Congress is reconvening, now there's talk about red flag legislation. There's talk about banning bump stocks across the country. And these are good steps to take. Of course they should be taken, but these are tepid half steps. We have to put pressure on our representatives throughout the country to make sure that we take real steps to prevent these horrific crimes that we've seen play out across the country again and again. And we know that these mass shootings, they're on the rise. If we do nothing, they'll continue to happen, and they'll continue to happen more frequently. This is our moment to take action. Thank you to Moms Demand Action. Thank you to every home, and thank you to every single one of you who is fighting that good fight. And count on me, count on our delegation here in Rhode Island to continue to back you and whatever we can to make sure that this is the year that sensible gun legislation gets passed. And while I have a moment, I also want to give a shout out to all of our elected leaders who are here today. You know, we're very fortunate here in Rhode Island. We have a delegation that's on the right side of the issues all of the time, and I can't think of better people to represent us. Senator Jack Reed, Congressman Jim Langevin. I know that Senator Whitehouse and Congressman Cicilline can't join us, aren't with us here today, but they're with us in spirit. We have Treasurer Seth Magazine. I appreciate your support behind all of these issues. Representative Marcia Ranglin-Basso, we appreciate you deeply. So thank you so much to everyone. Senator Josh Miller. Representative Liana Verdi. Anyone else? Where are they? So thank you all so much, everybody. You know, truly, I grew up as a fan of PBS and watching all of the kids shows growing up. And I remember a host on a PBS show talking about the horrific things that were happening in the world, and his parents would always tell him that when terrible things happen, focus and look at all of the helpers, all of the people that step up in a moment of crisis. This is a moment of crisis, and I see all of the helpers stepping up. You make me so proud and so hopeful for our future. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day.